side. Maybe not on the day, but over the two ties. But one good thing for United would be here, if they did manage to score, there would surely not be enough time for Galatasaray to get it back. But now they've got to defend themselves, and they're in a good position here, Galatasaray. That's a terrible ball. They were in a strong position then as well, but they've still got possession as Yusuf dashes forward. It's gone out of play, and there are only 5 minutes remaining now. And Manchester United's European Cup hopes hang by the slimmest of threads. The first ever English club to win the Cup are 5 minutes away from going out at only the second round stage. But a goal still would surely, at such a late stage in the game, be enough. Just one goal. How precious it would be. Kubilai lying injured from the challenge by the young substitute.
A little bit of acting there. Neville didn't really hit him at all. Kubilai, I think, making the most of it. Wasted a few more minutes. Alex Ferguson not looking too happy, I don't suppose. Can't blame him either.
Well, certainly one thing that will slightly backfire on the play acting, if you want to call it that, by the Galatasaray players, is that there'll be a fair amount of stoppage time to be added. It might not be enough for Ferguson's dreams. 4 minutes of normal time to go. Still 0-0. That scoreline, I repeat, would be enough to see Galatasaray through. Dion Dublin did well. That's a good ball forward too. Sharp. He's got Giggs and Cantona ahead of him. Perhaps should have released it a bit quicker. Ball taken off him by Gertz. Now Yusuf. They're tired, these Galatasaray players, but that's hardly surprising. They'll have to defend an awful lot in the second half. Bruce. It goes to Dublin, but over his head. Ince has given away the free kick, and it was a poor decision by the referee. And Ince reacted angrily towards it, and is the third Manchester United player to be cautioned. I must say, I have some sympathy for Ince there. I didn't think that was a foul at all. Well, all around the stadium now, as we see again why Ince was penalised. All around the stadium, the flares and the fireworks are being lit again as the celebrations begin here with 3 minutes of normal time remaining. I hope we don't get as much smoke as we got before the kick-off, because we won't be able to see the pitch if we do. Here's Cantona to Giggs. Can United snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Giggs plays it in behind Sharp, to the huge delight of the unsympathetic 35,000 fans of Galatasaray. It could be the greatest night in the history of Turkish football. And they're going to bring on a substitute rather, just to try and see them through these final few minutes. Ure, his name, an international who's been out injured for most of the season. Just listen to the noise now as the home fans think they've done it. Arif, the player off, Ure, the player on, and the smoke virtually blotting out the pitch in front of us here and choking myself and Dennis Law as it goes forward to Hakan. Bruce takes it off him. And Hakan battles hard to try and win it back, and the free kick's gone against Bruce. He thought he was fouled in the first place, and I think that's why he placed his hand on the ball. We are now into the last minute of normal time. And Manchester United are on the verge of going out of Europe as it goes in towards Ure, the substitute. And the whistle has gone, he was offside.
Well, it's been one of those nights really where United they've tried everything. They haven't created a great deal. The settle of the effort and everything was gone. You still never know, but time is definitely running out for them.
United have got to get on with it now. There will be no more than a couple of minutes at the most of stoppage time, and you never know how much a referee is going to add, only he knows that. The celebrations here will be something special if Galatasaray can hang on here. They're going to make another substitution. Clever stuff, just to try and break up United's rhythm, but the referee hasn't spotted that. And United go forward and win a throw deep near the corner flag. And we now have moved into stoppage time. And Galatasaray have moved into dreamland. Seconds away, possibly, from beating the champions of England. Dublin's little back header almost caused that dream to be shattered. And United have conceded the free kick, in fact, and now the referee will allow Galatasaray to bring on their substitute, who's a young defender called Mert. And the referee finally sees what's happening, and they're going to take off the man whose 2 goals at Old Trafford a fortnight ago did so much to make this dream for Galatasaray possible. Kubilai will come off eventually. He doesn't want to. A lot of time to be added, I would think, with all these stoppages, but we are now, for what it's worth on my watch, a minute over the allotted 90. And the referee's had a look at his watch. He's got to have had a bit more time than this, surely. He hasn't added any, and time has run out for Manchester United. They are out of the European Cup. Galatasaray have completed the greatest triumph in the history of Turkish football, and the champions of England are sadly beaten. The final score, Galatasaray 0, Manchester United 0. Galatasaray go through on the away goals rule.
Last week, he was back to his very best. A match-winning performance saw Sosa complete a stunning hat-trick as Inter beat the league leaders Parma 3-2. That win was the performance of Inter's season so far. Bagnoli's side, strongly tipped as the most likely challengers to Milan this year, have endured terrible injury problems.
Welcome back to the San Siro. Kickoff is coming up shortly. Just to let you know before that, though, that there will be a minute's silence at 1:30 to remember Mario Cecchigori, possibly the greatest post-war film producer here in Italy, an Oscar winner, and of course better known to us as the president of the Fiorentina Football Club. Well, coming up after that, shortly after 1:30, will be our live game, Inter against Milan. And it really has been greeted with feverish anticipation here in Milan. We arrived at 9 o'clock this morning to unload our stuff, and already fans were trying to climb over the walls and the gates, clambering their way into the stadium, chased around to the cheers of the fans outside by heaving and panting security guards. People really are desperate to get in. There's an 86,000 capacity here at the San Siro, but it's virtually completely sold out. The only tickets available this morning going for £120. Now, as you can probably see, things are very crowded here in the commentary box. We've got press from all over the world here. The game will be being shown live in Germany, France, America, Israel, Sweden, Denmark, and in Japan. In fact, just beyond Liam Brady here is the Japanese contingent packed in suitably bullet train-esque conditions. Now, as I mentioned, Liam Brady here, his elbow nestling gently among my ribs. And Liam, you're the latest escapee from the shadows of the commentary box. Any truth in these rumours that Peter Brackley can't come out of the box until the sun goes down?
I don't know about that, James. He only comes out at night time, I believe.
Indeed he does. There's big bags under his eyes, a testament to that. Now listen, the last time Inter won this game as hosts of the derby, you were playing alongside, well, on the other side of the field, in fact, from Ray Wilkins, am I right?
Well, I didn't believe that till I read a statistic today. Ray and I had a fair few battles out here. I think we played 6 times, a couple of draws, a couple of wins for him. I think he just shaded it.
An emotional sight to come back to the stadium today?
Yeah, it's great. It always is a big occasion. As I said earlier on, for me, it's the biggest derby in the world. Both clubs have consistently been successful domestically and in Europe, and no other city in the world can really command that kind of respect.
You saw the game last weekend. Milan, obviously the champions, but they were in trouble. How do you think today's game might go?
Well, they were excellent in the first half. They were really good in the first half and struggled in the second half. I think if they try and play offside, they could risk losing the game today.
I see that Laudrup's in the team instead of Savicevic. Any players matchups you're keeping your eye on today between the two teams?
Well, I think down the flanks, Milan are very strong. Donadoni and Laudrup. But down the middle, I'm not too sure if they can cope with Sousa and Bergkamp.
Okay, well listen, we'll be talking to you of course later on through the game. Right now, let's hand over to our live commentators, Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Record receipts for an inter-home game and a match that ranks in as one of the biggest derby confrontations in world football. A great occasion, certainly on the Italian scene, and all the additional spice today of two fierce rivals being level on points up there near the pinnacle of Serie A. The team news from the Intercamp is much as anticipated, really. Trapazzani's absence through injury means there's a place in defence for Massimo Paganin, playing alongside his brother Antonio. Dennis Bergkamp, of course, partners last week's hero, Ruben Sosa up front. And on the bench for Inter today, fighting his way back from injury, the menacing figure of Toto Schillaci, just bursting for his chance against the Rossoneri today. Sebastiano Rossi returns in goal for Milan after missing the Sampdoria defeat through suspension. And Filippo Galli comes in alongside Baresi at the back, this because of a one-match ban being served by Costa Curta. Wearing the number 10 shirt then will indeed be Brian Laudrup, who's preferred in the starting lineup to Savicevic. You really can't stress too highly the excitement surrounding this clash. Two teams with tunnel vision centred on the Scudetto come the end of the season. And also, of course, so much at stake too in terms of local pride and passion. Inter, the pre-season championship favourites, against Milan, who are bidding for a third successive title, and indeed their fourth in, 7 years. Alongside me then is Ray Wilkins, and certainly memories revived for you as well today, Ray, of those marvellous matches you played in the Milan derbies.
Yes, no question about it. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure if the players can give us half the spectacle on the field that the supporters have given us off it, we're in for a really great afternoon. Two really terrific football sides. And I think for once in a Milan derby, Inter will come in as the favourites. Milan over the last couple of seasons have really dominated Italian football, but Inter have got a very, very good team, and they would come into this game favourites, and I think we're in for a hell of a match.
And just to recap, there is a minute's silence in the stadium in memory of Mario Cecchigori, the president of Fiorentina, who sadly passed away on Friday. Away we go then, the latest Milan derby, Inter against Milan. It's the first time, incidentally, in 25 years that 5 clubs at the top of Serie A are separated by just 1 point. Juventus, who play Parma tonight, on 15, Sampdoria on the same tally, and then it's Parma, Milan and Inter all on 14, and Napoli back in 6th place on 12. Bagnoli there, the coach of Inter, wondering if his team at last are going to have the upper hand over their great rivals. Capello, the coach of Milan. Fantastic atmosphere in the stadium. Maldini, who's had his problems with injuries this season, but slotting in at left back, of course, and regarded as one of the best in the world in that role. Donadoni's corner. Forward by Galli. This is Albertini. Certainly, Walter Zenga had to keep a careful eye on that one.
My word, he did. I didn't actually think he was positioned too well there. He let the ball go, but it just missed the upright. This was a hell of an effort from Albertini. I think he meant it as a cross, but that wasn't too far away.
Albertini, who has scored for Milan in each of the last 2 Serie A games. On by Fontalan, who's playing really well for Inter at the moment. Is Galli after almost a lapse by Baresi. Always prone to the odd error these days. Good work by Jonk to win it back then for Inter. Here's Bergami, who has avoided automatic suspension because of the nature of the offences that he suffered last week. A couple of yellow cards. And a sending off, of course. And in fact his 2nd dismissal in Serie A this season. Good work by Simone.
In goes Papan, so quick to spot the possibilities. Simone was very sharp, so too was Papan. Fontaine denied an opportunity there. This is young Panucci, just 20 years old, and keeping his place in the side with Tossotti still nursing a knee injury. Or 5 to be exact. Maldini.
Yes, Panucci had a very impressive game last week, I thought, Peter, against Sampdoria. He showed a lot of composure for a young chap, and I think Mauro Tossotti may have a bit of a problem getting back into this outfit if he keeps continuing the way he does. I think Capello likes to get youngsters in there, likes to keep them in there as well, as we've seen with Albertini.
This is Donadoni. He's been around for quite a while, of course. Albertini. Now Boban. Rather disappointing, certainly in the second half against Sampdoria. That's a useful ball in there towards Papan, and the ball flashing wide from Simone. A really positive attack then by Milan, and Simone not far away.
Fantastic football. It's quite evident that Milan have settled down a lot better and a lot quicker. It's a great ball from Boban, good header from Papan, and it's just past the upright there from Simone. That was excellent football.
2 diminutive players up front for Milan, in Simone and Papan, but the well-timed header then from the Frenchman, and almost a clinical finish by Simone.
Yes, it's great running off the ball from Papan. When you're small like that, you've got to make room for yourself, and he ducked off the shoulder of the defender, and it was a good ball from Boban, and consequently we ended up with the chance on goal.
Here's Galli, who you'll remember from your playing days with Milan, Ray.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fabulous chap, Filippo Galli, and unfortunately his career has been plagued with knee injuries. He was the guy that they had basically penciled in to take over from Colivati in the national side, but unfortunately injury has curtailed his career, but it's nice to see him back.
It's certainly a rare start for him, and I don't think Sousa was too happy to see him there.
I forgot to say, he's a tough nut as well.
Yes. It was very late then on Sousa, who will be earmarked as the danger man, of course, with his predatory finishing for Inter. Stunning hat-trick against Parma last week. 5 goals already this season, and he missed the first half a dozen or so in Serie A because he was away on World Cup duty with Uruguay. It'll be Sousa with the free kick. Laudrup's back defending as well. Back in by Paganin. And the offside trap has worked, but only just.
That was very close, Peter. I think, as Leon was saying before the game, Milan had better watch that. That looked very, very close indeed. And it was Baresi, the one that was lagging behind.
Panucci, former Genoa player. The touch off then by Simone. A well-timed tackle from Yonk. Fierce pace at the start of this game. Sousa ran straight into Panucci. Boban. Here's Laudrup. Did well against Sampdoria, Laudrup, and of course scored one of Milan's goals. But now the break is on. Chip through by Bergkamp.
He didn't appear too happy, Laudrup, when he went over there with that knee. He came inside, and it looks as if he was just going to knock the ball off, but he's not a happy chap.
Dennis Bergkamp, who's settling now in Inter. Only a couple of goals in Serie A, but he's got 8 in all competitions. And of course, he had a phenomenal record in Holland, but Dutch club football is a bit different to the Italian scene, Ray.
Yes, with no disrespect to Dutch football, Bergkamp was scoring at will out there, and these guys here in Italy are excellent defenders, and his task is going to be a lot harder here. But he's done well. He's settling in nicely, and the team are actually winning a nice couple of games, so things are going nice.
Donadoni whipping over the cross, out by Paganin. Albertini getting it well. And already a goal elsewhere, and it's Sampdoria who have scored at home to Cagliari. A goal from Sacchetti, who got his first ever goal for Sampdoria the other week. Now he's scored again. They lead Cagliari by 1-0. Sampdoria joint top of the table with Juventus.
They're flying at the moment, aren't they? It's really nice to see. Good to see a good Sampdoria side. Very exciting.
Bergkamp now has Sousa up in support, taking on Galli. The defender just got a nick to the ball then, and it's Panucci. Bergomi. Sousa. Quick intervention though by Albertini. Simone. Perfect tackle by Bergomi. Really rugged and determined defender. This is Bergkamp. Now look for Sosa. Boban for Milan. Away by Rossi, who didn't concede a goal in the first 7 matches in Serie A. Offside. And of course, Yalpo, who replaced Rossi last week, conceded 3 goals. I don't think you really blame him for the goals. And he also made one stunning save too, didn't he, Ray?
Made a magnificent save, yes, from Mancini. It really was a first-class save. But he's obviously a first-class goalkeeper. Milan, with all the competitions they play, would have to have 2 very good goalkeepers, and Yalpo's no exception.
Well, they've got a good tight defence most of the time anyway, Milan. They certainly got caught out last week by Sampdoria. 7 is Orlando, operating down the left at the moment.
We just had another close one as well, Peter. It was Fontaine coming back from an offside position. And again, it was close.
Fabio Baldas, the referee today, one of the most experienced officials in the Italian league. Bergami is sent tumbling then.
Bergami's getting a bit of his own treatment there, wasn't he? And he wasn't too happy to be on the receiving end.
Yes, Sosa with the free kick. Donadoni.
That's what we're seeing a lot more of in Italian football, and I think it's good for the game. The way that attackers are working back on the ball and trying to win the ball back early. It makes for a far more exciting game, and it's nice to see that the players out there are working a lot harder.
Donadoni's pass, seeking out Simone. In goes Boban as Bergami.
He's in the wars, isn't he, Bergami? It's nice to see the 2 contrasting styles as well. You've got Inter playing with the sweeper with Battistini. Here's the incident coming up now. Oh, it's just a little tap in the face. I wouldn't have thought he's that hurt. As I was saying, the contrasting styles in the sweeper system of Inter and the zonal system of Milan. Milan play a lot shorter as a team, whereas Inter have the preference of playing a lot longer. And if you allow Milan too much room, they've got the passes of the ball that could pick you off.
Bergami seems to be okay. Inter, of course, Norwich City's opponents in the next round in Europe, and Mike Walker, the gatherers in the stadium watching today.
I'm sure we've got a number of Norwich lads watching the match as well, Peter, and congratulations to them on a fantastic result against Bayern Munich.
It really was. Marvellous display by Norwich, still going strong in Europe. What a test they're going to have against this Inter side.
But they can't wait to get into the stadium, actually, Peter, to sample this sort of atmosphere. It will be that sort of night. It'll be absolutely wonderful for them.
Vignoc penalised, the Dutchman, who linked so well with Bergkamp. Laudrup trying to force his way through. Here's Donadoni. Now Maldini. It's a lovely piece of skill by Maldini, and he was clearly instructed there.
He's an excellent technical player, Maldini. He's got the feet of a centre forward. It was quite a lovely piece of skill there for a left back. Here we see it again, just nipping the ball from one foot to the other and going through a gap that really wasn't there.
Still in his mid-20s, and amazingly his 10th season, Maldini, with Milan. Here's Donadoni. Only partially cleared. Now, can Simone get across it from here? Well played, though, by Zenga.
That's a great take from Zenga, but that's absolutely superb play from Simone. He just needed the little half a yard, and he whipped it around the defender, and it really was excellent play.
5 clean sheets from Zenga before the Parma game, when he conceded 2. On from Manicone. Baresi was first to that one. This is Paganin, Massimo Paganin, brother of Antonio. Now Donadoni looking to stretch Inter. Boban. Wide of him here is Panucci. And Laudrup hugging the touchline. Simone. Holds it up well to link with Panucci. Good period of possession here for Milan. Maldini. Donadoni working so hard. Boban. It's good skill. Quickly closed down though by Inter.
Yeah, good defending. But there's a wonderful air of confidence about Milan here this afternoon, and they really have started the game in good fashion.
Well, they played so well in the first half against Sampdoria. It was such a shock when the whole game was transformed in the second half. It should be Zengas as Papan came in.
Nicely taken again there from Zenga. Difficult ball, very, very high, but he did very well to take it.
Boban. Well in again, though, by Paganin.
Foot's up, though, Peter. We've seen it so many times. The foot's just raised above the ball, and a free kick's been awarded.
Baresi with the free kick then for Milan. That away defeat was their first on their travels for over 2 years in Serie A. The setback at Genoa against Sampdoria last week. They have been so successful away from home. Well, today, of course, both teams are at home in this stadium. Inter, in fact, last season were the only side unbeaten in Serie A on their own ground. Now, Manicone!
Very good football there from Inter. It was a great ball through to Manicone. Lovely first-time pass, and Manicone just failing to hit the target. But that was nice football.
Not really recognised as a goal scorer in any way, Manicone. But he does fashion so many chances for others through this filter roll, as they call it in Italy. Vital cog in the Inter wheel. Well, one in the air by Bergomi. Likewise, Albertini for Milan. Now Simone threatening. Came back off Paganin to Orlando. Manicone. Good first time ball for Fontaine to chase. Kept it in well too. Terrific pace in by Fontaine. Sosa! Oh, what a spectacular goal that would have been.
Oh, that was fantastic, wasn't it? That ball coming in there from Fontaine. And Sosa was up so high for that overhead kick. That was quite spectacular. Look at this. Absolutely terrific. It's a shame it actually wasn't on target and Rossi had to make a save. That was excellent stuff.
15 minutes gone. Battistini for Inter. Just beginning to show what they can do now. Yonk. Fontaine. He's showing more confidence now. Sosa with a cross. And away from Baresi.
Again, it was an excellent ball in. It was a good football there from Fontaine. Ball onto Sosa, and a ball whipped into the near post. And had one of their attacking players been across the near post, it could have been slightly more difficult for Milan. Been a cracking opening spell, though, hasn't it? We had some great football, some good defending, some good tackling, and some super passing.
Sosa to take the corner. Awesome volume of sound around the stadium. Well, the appeals coming in from the Milan players were offside, but the referee says play on. Doing his best to keep the game flowing. Boban, the Croatian. Donadoni. Simone and Papan in the middle, and also Michael Laudrup. Brian Laudrup, rather, I should say. Now Bergkamp to Sosa. Paganin. Here's Sosa. Inter probing